Hi kids, how are you? So, we are going to continue reading the story of the Time Explorers. Do you remember? There were these two kids, it's Paul and Jack and Emily. They were in the garden and Emily had a metal detector and they found something and then Jack tripped in the rock and then he hit his head, and when he woke up, when he opened his eyes, he was in a boat. Yeah, so we're going to continue and see what's happening in that boat. So what we're going to do, I'm gonna read the story and then we have some exercises and we'll do the exercises together. Okay, so it's page 34. Take your books, open the book, page 34. Okay, let's go. So, The Time Explorers, Episode 2. Jack stood up, and the wind nearly blew him over. He was sailing in the middle of the ocean. As far as the horizon, he could see nothing but water. Waves raced across the shining sea. It was beautiful. Then he turned around and couldn't believe his eyes. He saw a huge sail hanging from a tall mast. Men were sitting on either side, rowing with long oars. He was standing on a wooden ship, a Viking longship. He remembered it from his history classes. But what was going on? Where was the river and the old brick wall? And where was Emily? Suddenly, the ship rocketed to one side and Jack lost his balance. He crashed into one of the oarsmen sitting on a bench. "Sorry," said Jack. "Be careful, Olaf," the man said. "Who's Olaf?" thought Jack. He looked at the man. He had a shiny metal helmet just like his. Then Jack heard a loud voice behind him. "Olaf, what are you doing, boy?" Jack turned and saw a man with flaming red hair and a red beard at the front of the ship. "You'd better watch out. Eric's angry again," said the oarsman. "Come over here immediately and help me control the ship," shouted Eric. Jack didn't like being shouted at, but he obeyed. The ship was rocking up and down and from side to side, so it was difficult to keep his balance. Jack thought hard while he was walking towards the bad-tempered captain. Eric, a Viking captain named Eric, with red hair and a bad temper. There was only one answer. It was Eric the Red. Okay, so I'll ask you, the question here is read the text again and answer the questions. What I'll ask is, I'll make the question, you answer orally, and then I'll give you the answers, okay? So, why couldn't Jack believe his eyes? Because he was in a Viking longship, yeah? How did he know he was he was on a Viking longship? Because he remembered it from his history class. Why was it difficult for Jack to keep his balance? Because the ship was rocking. How did he recognize Eric the Red? Because of Eric's red hair and bad temper. Okay, so I'll continue reading the story, okay? And then we have some other questions. Jack, or Olaf, because everybody was calling him Olaf. Jack, or Olaf, as they called him, was walking toward the captain when he saw a dark shape in the ocean. It was moving quickly in their direction. It was like a huge shadow, but it wasn't the shadow of the ship. Jack thought for a moment it was a monster. Then a column of water shot into the air, and a gigantic head and back broke the surface. It was a whale. The whale dived back beneath the ocean and made a huge wave. "Watch out!" shouted Jack. "Hold on to the mast!" The wave hit the ship and sent Eric the Red flying. Jack ran over to him. Eric was falling overboard when Jack jumped and grabbed the captain's cloak, the jacket. Just in time, Jack held on with all his strength. Then other sailors came to rescue and helped pull Eric back on board. Eric looked at Jack. "You are a hero," he said. Then he stood up and lifted Jack onto his shoulders. The crew cheered. Jack looked at the ship, at the ocean, at the brilliant blue sky, and then he heard a voice in his ear. "Jack!" It was a girl's voice. "Are you okay?" Jack opened his eyes and smiled. "I'm fine, Emily. I feel great. Honest." "I think we should go home," she said. "You were right. The metal detector is silly." "It isn't silly," said Jack, sitting up. "It's amazing. There are hundreds of things we can find. Come on, let's explore the riverbank." And with that, Jack grabbed Emily's hand, put the Viking helmet on her head, and they ran to the river. Okay? So, in the exercise number 4, we have some words, and you have to put them together to make sentences. Okay? And you are going to make the sentences like the example. So you are going to use the past continuous. Remember that we use the past of the verb to be, was and were, and we use the verb with ing. So look here. Jack watch. So Jack was watching the whale when it dived underwater. So we have one past continuous and one simple past. Okay? So Jack was watching the whale when it dived underwater. And then you have number 2, 3, and 4. Take your time to do it. And then I'll give you the answers. Okay? So pause the video now, do it, and I'll give the answer. Pause. Okay, could you do it? Let's go back. I will give the answers now. So, the number 2. Jack held on to the mast when the wave hit the ship. So, Jack was holding on to the mast when the wave hit the ship. Oh, great. Okay. Just a moment. Okay. Eric fell into the ocean when Jack grabbed his cloak. Eric was falling into the ocean when Jack grabbed his cloak. Jack looked at the ocean when he heard Emily's voice. Jack was looking at the ocean when he heard Emily's voice. I have here written, and I will show you. Okay, let me see. Oh no, it's wrong. Okay, there you go. Okay. Okay, kids. So that's it for today. Okay, I won't give you any homework, and then tomorrow we go back and take care and wash your hands. Bye bye.